So here's the first poem about love. Then said Alamitra, "Speak to us on love." And he raised his head, and he looked upon the people, and there fell a stillness upon them. And with a great voice he said, "When love beckons to you, follow him, though his ways are hard and steep. And when his wings enfold you, yield to him, and though a sword hidden among his pinions may wound you. And when he speaks to you, believe in him, though his voice may shatter your dreams as north wind lays waste to the garden. For even as love crowns you, you shall so crucify you, or he shall so crucify you. Even as he is for your growth, so he is for your pruning. Even as he ascends to your height and caresses your tenderest branches that quiver in the sun, so shall he descend to your roots and shake them in their clinging to the earth. Like sheaves of corn he gathers you unto himself. He threshes you to make you feel naked. He sifts you free from your husks. He grinds you to whiteness. He kneads you until you are pliant, and he assigns you his sacred fire that you may become bread for God's sacred feast. All of these things shall love do unto you, that you may know the secrets of your heart, and in that knowledge become a fragment of life's heart. But in your fear you would seek only love's peace and love's pleasure. Then it is better for you that you cover your nakedness and pass out of love's threshing floor, into the seasonless world where you shall laugh, but not all of your laughter, and weep, but not all of your tears. Love gives not but itself, and takes not but from itself. Love possesses not, nor would it be possessed, for love is sufficient unto love. When you love, you should not say, God is in my heart, but rather, I am in the heart of God. And I think not you can direct the course of love, for love, if it finds you worthy, directs your course. Love has no other desire but to fulfill itself. But if you love and must needs have desires, let these be to your desires: to melt and be like a running brook that sings its melody to the night, to know the pain of too much tenderness, to be wounded by your own understanding of love, and to bleed willingly and joyfully, to wake at the dawn with a winged heart and give thanks for another day of loving, to rest at the noon hour and meditate love's ecstasy, to return home and eventide with gratitude, and then to sleep with a prayer for the beloved in your heart and a song of praise unto your lips. So that's the prophet speaking on love. So, very romantic notion here. I'm going to take a sip of water really quickly. We see this a lot. Poets like to exhume a lot on the purposes of love. And we see this a lot. One of the most classic stories is Romeo and Juliet, and how these two young people are so utterly infatuated with each other. And then Byron has talked about love extensively, and that's kind of why a lot of people get into poetry. A lot of people start reading poetry because it's like, oh, it's so romantic, I love it, I just love the way that the poets weave their words and talk of these romantic gestures and meeting in the moonlight and making out and all these other things. But I think Gibran does a great job here in illustrating that love can also be kind of harmful. Love can hurt you a little bit of time, and you can see this in the... Let's see. One more second. Sorry, I'm trying to find the exact line. Though his voice may shatter your dreams as the north wind lays waste to the garden. For even so as love crowns you, so shall he crucify you. Even as he is for your growth, so he is for your pruning. Even as he ascends to your height and caresses your tenderest branches that quiver in the sun, so shall he descend to your roots and shake them in their clinging to the earth. So, a lot of juxtaposition used here. Juxtaposition is when you put two things side by side for literary or dramatic effect. So you have a high and you have a low. Love will allow you to feel the warmth of the sun as you grow, but it'll also go to the roots and absolutely shake you bare. It will open up your heart, but it can also close up your heart. It can hurt you, or it can it can make you grow, or it can hurt you in a way. And so I think Gibran, like I said, does a great job of illustrating that there's a harsh part to this too. There is tough love. Like, love can be kind of hurtful at times too, but it's all in the name of helping you grow. And again, he's really optimistic because, as he says, towards the end. And think not that you can direct the course of love, for love, if it finds you worthy, directs your course. So love is one of the purposes of life. That's why we're here. And sometimes it is suffering, but we should sit here and we should take the suffering because it will lead us in our life towards better things. And that's how he wraps things up here, because he says, love has no other desire than to fulfill itself. But if you love and must need and have desires, let these be your desires. To melt like a running brook that sings its melody to the night. To know the pain of too much tenderness. To be wounded by your own understanding of love, and to bleed willfully and joyfully. To wake at the dawn with a winged heart and give thanks for another day of loving. To rest at the noon hour and meditate on love's ecstasy. To return home at eventide with gratitude. And to sleep with the prayer for the beloved in your heart and a song of praise unto your lips. So these are these sort of things. These things that you want to achieve in life, to melt in your love and just feel like beside yourself and feel like a running brook of emotion, I guess you can say. To know what it feels like to be too tender, too loving, to be wounded by love. Again, to take that hurt, but to be willing to take it willfully and joyfully, knowing that that's making you a better person. And to take a nap at noon and meditate on love's ecstasy, because napping is important. Definitely take naps. I'm just kidding. But yeah, these are all these things. So you're going to see this a lot with Gibran's writing. Gibran is he's a very existential writer. He talks a lot about the purposes of certain things, X, Y, and Z. And as he mentioned, love wants nothing more than to fulfill itself. So it's very much like X talking about X. So love talking about love, life talking about life, and how these sort of things fulfill themselves in a very existential way, if that makes sense.